Welcome back, guys. I have an exciting video here for you today. This is the Intel NUC, or Next Unit of Computing, which is a small form factor mini PC that is a bare bones kit. There are some available that have parts pre-installed, such as, well, hard drive and RAM, basically. And this is one of the lower end models. It's not the very lowest. This is one step up from the bottom. This is a Pentium quad core. Let's see if we have the actual. It's let's see if it says on here. Don't see the exact processor specs, but it's a 1.6 gigahertz Pentium quad core that turbos up to 2.4 gigahertz when necessary. Very small form factor PC, and it comes with a bunch of mounting hardware and other things in here. Let's go ahead and take a look in the box. I'll warn you, I've had this out and played with it before. We'll also be doing a build with this today, so I'll be showing you how to install your hard drive and RAM. There will be another video later showing it in operation. Very nice slipped together box. Inside we have the computer itself. Set that off to the side and take a look at what we have for accessories. We have a VESA mounting plate and our 65-watt power adapter, as well as a whole bunch of adapter ends for different countries. There's a whole bunch in here. One's for UK, and looks like that one looks like a UK plug. You have possibly Australian. It's the two that are angled. Not sure what country that might be, German or Australian, something like that. And we have the two round ones, which I know is some sort of European plug. And another one that's like that but smaller. I don't know. Don't really know what countries those go to, but so this would be a multi-voltage adapter as well. Should be able to work pretty much anywhere in the world. And the rest of this, we have a bag of screws, quick start guide, which unfolds like a horrible map thing, and it's mostly just pictures, really not much to that. Some sort of special offer for McAfee Live Safe. Throw that out promptly. Little case badge that says Intel inside Pentium. Probably won't be putting that on either, since the Pentium is absolutely nothing to brag about. And this bit of yellow paper. Let's see what's on here. Attention, required internal hardware, and it just tells you what it needs to get going, I guess. Yeah, 2.5-inch solid-state drive or hard disk drive, SODIMM memory. It should say 1.35 volt low voltage DDR3 is required for this. And I have the two components we'll need to get this up and running: a Samsung 850 EVO VNAND SSD, 250 gigabytes, and 8 gigabytes of crucial low-power DDR3 RAM. We will be installing that very soon here. Let's see if there's anything else interesting here on the box. We'll go ahead and look. Doesn't look like there's much there. We'll go ahead and look at the unit itself here. I've had this protector off before, but I put it back on for travel. Go ahead and peel that off. This top is a very glossy plastic, which attracts fingerprints and scratches like nothing else on the planet, unfortunately, and same with this front piece. We have two USB 3 ports on the front. The top one is a charging port, and we have a headphone, microphone, headset port here on the front, multi-port. Power button and hard drive indicator on the top. On the back we have our power 19-volt input, power adapter in, audio out, which supports optical audio, VGA, HDMI, gigabit Ethernet, and two more USB 3 ports. We also have our active cooling vent here. There is a fan in this. We also have vent on the side, which is an air intake, an SDXC card, and a Kensington lock port. And the other side we just have a vent, and that's it. To take this guy apart, I'm actually going to put the little protector back on the top so I don't scratch it. That way I can flip it over on the desk here. All it takes is 4 screws on the bottom. It's quite simple to get apart. Get our screwdriver out and just take the screws out in each of the 4 feet. Alright, once you have all of those feet loosened, make sure they pull up, and they actually are captive, so they won't pull all the way out. And this whole plate lifts up, and there will be 2 cables attached inside. Go ahead and unplug those. They're a bit tricky. I may have to do the SATA cable off camera if I can't get it out. It's been getting easier the more I do it, but it's still quite tricky. Okay, we have that off now. You really probably don't need to unhook that to put the drive in. It's just a little bit easier to work on with the 2 pieces separate. First thing we're going to install is our 8GB RAM module. It's quite simple. Just installs like any other laptop memory would. Go ahead and pull this out here. And remember, this does require low power memory. This one is crucial. It's a 1.35 volt 8GB DIMM. This is compatible. Go ahead and just slot that in like any laptop memory would normally go. You just push it back and then click it down into place. Make sure it seats fully. I should mention this thing does come with AC wireless built in. It has a little MPCI card in there and Bluetooth 4.0. Which is very handy considering it only has 4 USB ports, and you're probably going to want a Bluetooth mouse and keyboard for this. Go ahead and open up our 850 EVO here. First thing I noticed with this drive is extremely light. There's like nothing in that as far as I can tell. And we won't bother looking at that since it's not the subject of this video. Go ahead and install that in here. It just slides in, it's pressure fit. There's little tabs that click into where the mounting holes are for normally where you'd screw it in. It just presses in like that. The Samsung logo will be up on there, and that should be mounted. Now all we have to do is reinstall this. Go ahead and put your cables back where you found them. It's a little bit tricky again, but nowhere near as bad as taking them out. And then this all just kind of squishes back down together. That actually goes this way. There's a little arrow on there that says which is the front, and the front is where the 2 USB ports are. You can do these screws up most of the way by hand and then tighten them down with a screwdriver. That way you don't get them cross-threaded. And there we go. That's all there is to installing a hard drive and RAM into an Intel NUC. Most of these will be very similar. I'll mention that this model is plastic on the outside. I'm not sure if all of them are. I think some of the higher end ones are aluminum, which would make sense, but this one is one of their kind of bottom range models, so it is in fact a silver plastic and glossy plastic top. And the bottom is metal, and it has a metal internal frame to it. It's actually a very dense little box, quite heavy. And this power adapter, while really small, is also very dense and high quality feeling. In testing, I've had this unit draw around an average of 10 to 12 watts depending upon what it's doing. So it's a very, very power efficient machine. Very easy to set up, easy to work on. Unfortunately, the upgrade path is extremely limited on here. I pretty much have this one decked out about as far as you would ever want to upgrade one of these or configure one of these. They can only take up to 8 gigs of RAM. I have 8 in it, and 250 gigs is probably all you'll ever need for storage on one of these, unless you really plan on storing a lot of data on it. These are very well suited for like a TV box or some sort of home theater PC. Pretty good for that. They play HD video nicely. But we'll save the rest of that for the next video, where I'll be demonstrating using this as a little all-in-one PC mounted to the back of a monitor. And I will see you guys then. Go ahead and like, favorite, and subscribe if you thought this was interesting content, and leave a comment down in the comment section if you have any suggestions and or comments. I will see you guys later.